Well, there you are again. Charlie Greer podcast. Again, I do this every day. Today, we're going to do a Delphi Murders update. Uh, I did a previous Delphi Murders podcast about a month and a half ago or something. Uh, I'm not a true crime podcaster, man. There's other people out there that can um, that are better. Okay, I talk about everything on my podcast. But I went down that rabbit hole again. um, what was it? RM. Some I should have. I mean, I think I subscribed. Anyway, I'm not well, but uh, RM podcast. They posted some pretty cool clips I watched, and then I went and found them. I watched the sheriff debate that happened in you know May or something. And then I watched a board meeting, some kind of board meeting about they were looking into the finances, donations for the sheriff. And first of all, let's pray for the families and these kids. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows about the Delphi murders. I'm not going to get into. You can watch my first podcast, or again, find someone else. Let's pray, man. This is not good. Pray for those girls, man. Pray for their family, their mothers, their father, everybody. At the end of the day, that's what people are doing. That there's some really good people that are on this case. I mean, like YouTubers, like people are doing the work. And also, I think they should be getting paid. Like I've watched a few things where, like, well, say now you're doing a lot of work, uh, spending 8 hours a day, whatever. Because people are. I mean, I do a podcast every day. I know how hard it is. Even the simple podcast I do, I got to rearrange my life to do what I do. So support these people. Again, it was RM podcast that I watched. Got these clips. So again, as soon as the first one I watched was the sheriff debate. And right off the bat, I'm not going to go through much, but my third podcast, I talked about there's something afoot. That dog don't hunt. We're talking about like people in power here. And I watched, there was three dudes. There was like an old sheriff, the guy that became the new sheriff, and this other dude. I forgot their name. But the dude that became sheriff, I mean, come on, man. Is that the best you can do? Could he do a pull-up? And how he looks exactly like this old sheriff. That's what I mean. People with like, I can't say one. I don't want to get docked. I'm already getting docked. So, what are the odds that the dude looks exactly like the other sheriff? And my first one, I wanted to say much, but people have truth windows nailed shut, man. There's something else going on. It just might be simple corruption, people hiding things in their life. I'm not saying it even has anything to do with this murder, but certain secrets in people's lives, they'll cover. They don't want any kind of discovery. Oh no, because if the forensics get a hold of their phones and their computers, and they're living double lives. Forget about, again, I don't think it has anything to do with the murder. I just think it has to do with like simple local corruption, and I'm this, I'm that. We're both in these groups. They don't want people to know what they're into. It might lead to crime. I don't think so. I think this is like this, but you'll cover everything up to hide these secrets, man. In your personal life, I'm talking about. So I was watching the sheriff debate, and they ask the guy on the right, the younger dude. They're asking like, "Hey, man, what would you do in the Delphi investigation?" He's like, "Look, we need new eyes. We need these. We got," and he even said like they have like 5 teams of experts, retired, this and that and the other. And they won't let him see anything. Like he was like, I would open it. We got to do something. It's been almost 6 years. And then when they talked to the dude that became sheriff, the guy in the middle, the little guy, kind of he looks out of shape. He doesn't look like, and he even admits he doesn't have any experience. I said that. Well, how in the hell did you become, huh? Well, I know. I get it. Hey, live your life. But he goes, yeah, I'm gonna, I'd have new eyes. I have these 5 teams waiting. They're just waiting for, help it. I guess the new the sheriffs won't let them do it. And then they ask the sheriffs like, yeah, we're on the right track. We've had new eyes, FBI, just talking in circles. And then the guy on his left, I don't know if you can, he's like an ex-sheriff. And he kind of says the same thing as the guy on the right. He was like, yeah, man, this needs to be, they want to talk. I can tell they're just really wanting to talk, especially the dude. He was pacing. He came out from he's pissed. Something's not right. He knows this. People know this. And again, it might not even lead to the murders, but somehow this secret life they have, they'll cover everything up to, I mean, further down the trough, they might know people that they're involved that actually did the murders. So they'll cover for everything. Matter of fact, they don't want to do it, but they got to, because it's going to expose other stuff in their life and all these other people's lives. I can't say much, but look into what Ray Hannish, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like there's their truth windows, man. They know they're on the down low. I mean, it's I can't say much, but that's what's going on. Again, it might not be connected to this crime, perhaps. It's just that they'll cover up anything, come hell or high water. Nobody can find out what would that kind of thing. So they'll cover it all up. I don't see somebody doesn't swoop in and like solve this thing, but I guess you got to have, if the sheriff have control of that's how the law is, But that opened my eyes. Again, it was RM podcast. Thank you for posting that. And again, pray for the families and for those two girls, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. We don't want people out there that'll kill kids, They got video of him. They got his voice. I mean, come on. Somebody's got to know. And I know it's not what you know, it's what you can prove. I'm like, I'm not dumb. But I'm pretty street savvy, and I can read people, and I can understand the cadence in a voice. When someone's already made up their mind about you, they'll have a certain cadence in their voice. They'll have a little look on their face. Women do it different than men. If someone's lying to me, I know about it. I can feel it in my gut, whatever, in their cadence. I can see the flush of red in their face that goes, People that are good, they're like sociopaths, like they don't get any flush face. They're just like, yeah, I mean, they're good at it. That's what they do. That's who they are. Then, okay, the next video, what was this board meeting? Oh my God, man. If that's the best you can come up with, I pray for this town. Watch that board meeting about like finances. So like the sheriffs, like somebody find it, and they used a corporate name and didn't put their real name on it. Well, say if it didn't over $500, who cares if it was who did it? Like they literally are saying they broke the law. And then one of them leaves and goes up paperwork, and the one woman she's just sitting there, just like stone cold psychopath. Maybe she's not sociopath, narcissist at least. Again, these are my humble opinions. I'm just ranting like a madman. I'm a citizen of this nation, the world, whatever. I don't want people running around being able to commit like horrible crimes and cover them up. And a lot of this stuff I'm talking about today, it has to do with but it's the corruption that they'll cover other things up. Why would they want that dude sheriff that's only got like a year, whatever he said he'd had? He's the head investigator of these homicides, yet he's only worked on one homicide. See? What? Are you kidding? There's people out there that are like, that's seasoned. That's what they do. Nope, we don't need no help. I mean, come on. That's kind of why I went down this. I only found out about this case last year. And one of the reasons that I went down it is because it pisses me off that they, it's almost like, oh man, are you kidding me? And again, I'm not a true crime podcaster. I do everything. I talk about Marilyn Monroe's death. I talk about me being in bands. I talk about this, that, and the other thing. But in the update, so let me tell you about the update. And everybody knows this Keegan Kline character, they took him out of jail for a day, and the next thing you know, there's people searching the river, and something, I don't know, something about those Klines. I get like a Patsy kind of vibe from them, like they're Oswald. They're about to be cheap, or I don't know. Again, I don't have any. What I really do know is my feelings and knowing how to read people. There's some, man, it's all over in that little town. I mean, everybody I've seen, these people, I call them like old timey people. They think they can lie and this, that, and the other. And everybody, I can read your shit, man. It's not even a book. It's not like reading a book. It's like a pamphlet, a one page, that thing you get in the mail for fast food. It's only it's one glance. No. And I'm not judging people, but if you come at me with this nefarious energy and you think that I'm not gonna, again, I'm entitled to my opinion. I've never met any of these people, but in my humble opinion, man, something ain't right. They're doing all the tells that you can do. And I mean, I lived in LA for 24 years. Financial reasons, I had to live in bad areas. So I know how to read people. I know how to read bullshit. I kind of wish I didn't. Ignorance is bliss kind of shit. And you get to the point where you could, they're just embellishing. I mean, they're not lying. They're embellishing. Like, I'm the greatest. Look at me. Everybody does that. And we're all guilty of lying, But not to cover up, like, again, some of this cover up is just they don't want anybody to know that they're in this little group. Oh my God, if they find out what we do, it's not even a conversation they have with themselves. It's within them, and they all are agreeing on it. So let's do it. They don't really talk it through. It's just that they're all guilty of certain things in their personal lives. Their truth window is nailed shut. A brick wall over that, sheetrock. I mean, my truth window is open, and I don't care. Again, in a small town, whatever people do, who gives a shit? But if you're in that'd be bad for certain people's personas, and I want to be seen. So this update, they're in the creek, river, whatever it is, like metal detectors, and I hope they find something. If they're using metal detectors, they're looking for something, well, obviously metal and heavy that wouldn't, and underneath the brick. See, if you throw something off a bridge, I don't care how heavy it is, the current is going to take it a little bit before it even settles. And even if it settles and doesn't move, they need to be going further. They need to be going like downstream, or maybe not. I mean, I would think that something would move or if it's that small and shallow, maybe it would just drop like. And why did they take Keegan Kline out of the jail for a day? And then on the paper, what they saw, they're like negotiating some kind of, what were they negotiating? They have to admit that this Keegan Kline dude, the profile he made, Anthony Schatz, is connected to one of the biggest sting operations in the history of Indiana. So there's tentacles of that would lead to other things. It's going to lead to people's secret lives, what they do. Again, do what you're going to do. A lot of these things I'm talking about, it's not even a crime what they're doing, but they don't want people to know. Again, I don't care what you do. Unless you're in a position of power and you're just nothing can get done because you and your little friends, your little groups, I'm not going to say what their groups are named, but they have a name. And they, go to your town, welcome to Delphi. And you'll see those badges there, whoever, they're in every town. And it just isn't Delphi. They're in a place you can go without this nefarious shit. And again, it's just small town politics, corruption. It isn't like corruption, like we ring up. No, it's just, well, me and my boys, see him, them, that, and that kind of shit. It goes back to the beginning of time. I don't even say how you could stop it. But people know these poor girls and what their family's been through. Hopefully there's some movement. Maybe this is good. Or maybe is this a 2-year anniversary? Every 2 years we'll dig something up, pull somebody out of jail, make it look like we're doing busy work. Is this busy work? We got a little extra money. Let's put some divers in the creek. I mean, I don't know. But I know that's the kind of stuff you would do if you were, or maybe they're told what to do. Crime is weird, man. I think that a lot of this stuff, how people are acting, again, has nothing to do with the physical crime. But what they do will expose other things and not these people's lives. They want to seem like, oh, look at me and my little hat. Mama, see? I'm the this, I'm the that. They live their, that's how they identify. It'll just come crumbling. These people be crying. You'll see a different person, but they're confident in their, that's one thing I can't put my finger on is why are they so good? It's almost no like, yeah, we can't, you ain't gonna get that. Ain't never gonna. See, in my first Delphi, I said I would never do another Delphi video because I only did one. Because I'm all over the place with my podcast. But I saw this update. It's like, oh man, I gotta say something. I mean, it's eating me up, and I've been wanting to do it for a couple of days. Today, I almost didn't do it. I was like, dude, I got to get it out of my system. Like again, I feel for people, man. I have empathy for these poor girls, man. Day off of school, you know how it is when you're 13. A day off of school, you can have fun and end up dead. That ain't right, man. We can't have, especially in a small town USA where it's all rainbows and lollipops. It should be. I mean, it pissed me off. I'm just going to be truthful to you. I didn't know about this case until like they released the Anthony shots, and I was living in LA at the time, right before I moved back. I moved to the Midwest, and I went down that rabbit hole for like weeks. It's like, whoa, this case, oh my God. Because I like true crime, you know, the Manson family and the Zodiac. I mean, I know everything. Paranormal, UFO, Bigfoot. That's what my podcast is about. Just exploring the world, talking about my truths, asking questions. Again, this is just a hypothetical. I don't know. I'm not one of those people who's like, I don't know. POI or whatever. I don't have one. I just know that I'm going with my gut and my reasoning. And especially after watching that debate. Oh, and that dude in the middle, he won. The guy that like didn't want to do anything new and this, that, and yeah, he became the the dude with no experience, or the least amount of experience, I should say, who has never I don't know. Maybe he's a cool guy. I doubt if he could pass. Don't they have to pass some kind of like physical like you have to like jump over a wall or climb a rope or something to get. I mean, you're a cop, you're the sheriff. Isn't there any kind of, you got to be, I should say, I'm not fat shaming, but you got to be fit. Be running after, maybe not at the sheriff, but you got to be, I mean, what is it? Is there an IQ prerequisite? Is there anything? I mean, am I being a, I mean, come on. What world are they? That again, that's the world. That's the, you know, and that board meeting. How did you get on the board? Like, watch that board meeting. It's kind of shocking how there's like, oh yeah, we broke the law. Well, who cares? But what? And this one woman who's like questioning them, you can tell she's really holding back, and they're staring up. You know, well, you don't beat them. And they're looking into like financial, like, you know, people donating money for the sheriff campaign or whatever. And they just put a corporate name and no like real name, so you're not supposed to do that or something. And then they're like, well, if it ain't over $500, who cares? Well, who cares? What you do is you make up, and they search the corporate name, doesn't exist. So say if you want to, like, you can only do $500 and you want to, you know, put money into your, you know, person you want to be sure. You just do that like 50 times, 500 a pop, 500. Just keep on doing it. Fake, you know, fake corporate, you know, whatever it is. That's why you'd want to. They act like it's like, no, see it. Come on. Are we? That's another thing. They're insulting my intelligence with this shit. And that's kind of why I kind of went that this case is kind of good, because man, it's like, oh no, you didn't. And I know a lot of people are feeling that way too. Again, these old timey people who think that I lie, I'm a great liar. You're horrible at lying. I mean, you did the worst. If anybody, again, I don't have the Stockholm syndrome, because so I know I'm confident enough of myself that I'll be like, man, that's some bullshit. Some people won't. They're like, oh, I don't want to ruffle feathers. Or again, I don't know these people. I'm concerned for, like, you know, again, I feel for the families and these kids. You know, people kind of, you know, that's what it is about. Some of these podcasters, they're like fighting in this, and I know, and that's, hey, what about the kids? And again, if you can find a good place like to donate to help, I mean, do it. And there's other podcasters that are really good. They're doing like some hard work, deep diving, going down those rabbit holes. What's the dark subject. And that's why my podcast doesn't focus on true crime, because man, that's a dark, everyday murder, and then I can't do it, man. I'm an artist. I need time and a lot of leave alone from the true crime world. I just can't. That's why I'm supportive of people who can, because I'm like an empath or something, man. It just gets to me. I'm like, oh fuck, I can't. But I care, because it didn't matter if I live there or not. It's like, well, what? Name another instance where this is going on, where they have the video, the audio, and they say he's local, and then they switch gears. I mean, just go on what they're saying. Something isn't right. It's like, what are they going to shift gears again? Well, we're going to third gear. Shit. Again, I don't know. I don't have a person of interest. None of that. I do think that there's a confidential informant involved, like a CI, and I think that the police that operate and run the CI, what they see if it goes back, then even if they had nothing to do with it, they don't want no. And that might be classified, like they buried that. I don't know. But I think, again, going off of life experience and seeing other cases, that's how it happens. I don't think there's anything unique in this case besides all the other, like there's some cover up. And I don't know if it's just about the crime. There's something not right. I think there's two like thoughts here. Like there's two people, like some people know and some people just why would they let everybody that's qualified look? If you wanted to solve this case, you'd be like, man, just bring in the best. These people that, and that guy at the sheriff debate, that's exactly what he said. He said there's like 5 of them waiting, like groups that have solved crime. No, we don't need no. We're doing fine. Keep doing what we're doing. And that's a tell. Be confident, keep doing what we're doing. That means what? Not solving the crime? Again, you need a little time to pull back once the truth is out, and you'll see, like, I can't believe I was fooled. Well, there's some people that already know. They don't need to be led along by some kind of narrative. Again, I had to learn to read people out of just survive in LA, the streets, just to get to work. To be able to walk my dogs and not have to, you just read people. You have to know the situation. I wish, again, I didn't know this. I'm an artist. I lived in LA. I was a musician, actor. Like I didn't care about, again, I always would watch like the Zodiac Killer documentary or something like that, but I'm not, I paint, I play guitar. Again, I wouldn't be a true crime podcaster, and I take my hat off to him, man. It takes guts, and you got to be tough. We should be supporting these people. And this debate, like, let them get paid. If the cops are getting paid, then why not everybody else? I mean, if you're working, again, there's people that will coattail ride and just try to monetize just to make, that's going to happen too. But then there's people that are really doing work daily. They have to, it's their life. They doing this stuff. And maybe one of those people will have some, maybe people that know a little bit are too scared to go to the cops. Maybe they'll talk to a YouTuber. Who knows? I hope something happens. I hope that they can get this person off the street, man. Killing 2 kids. Have they done it before? The cops said no. Like, how would you know? Maybe they know more. Again, my first podcast I did about the Delphi, I said that I don't think this case will ever be solved, and I kind of feel, I kind of think this is they're shining on this new thing, and also the YouTubers that always have the information, and they're there taking. How do they know when nobody else knows? And they don't really have any experience. I mean, they might be good people, but I was watching some of their stuff, and it's like, they talk about how we met when we met on that thing. Who? What? Then all of a sudden, you guys are, Inspector Clouseau. Like, what? Yeah, I guess they have an insider, because I don't know. I don't know. Something's fishy about all this stuff. And then my gut goes off on a lot of people. Now it goes off. Some people don't know how to react to tragedy, and I know that. So they're not acting the way they. I get that. I can read that. I can read when people are lying with omission. I can sense that. I can again someone that already made up their mind about you and their cadence this that. I get that. The cadence changes when the roles are switched. People sound different. Get a little more, and they're thinking so their voice. Come on. And I still get when people are like relishing. There are narcissists. There are psychopaths. There are sociopaths, and they got that kind of grit. Yeah, well, see, come on, man. Use your gut. And why this little area? Because not too far from Delphi, there was the Floor murders, and that's in the same county. So what? In the last 6 girls are dead, and people. No, everybody should be really pissed. That's kind of why I went down this rabbit hole because there's certain true crime. No, the cases that I just thought, but this one, again, I can relate to being 13. I can relate to having a day off school, fun, and that to all change. And somebody to take advantage of those. How smart and tough are you for 2 13-year-olds? You need to be off the street. You need to be under the jail. Good luck in Gen Pop. General population. Yeah, you want to make just send their ass. If they could put them in Gen Pop, which they probably won't, they'll put them in some kind of protected. And even there, they again, I pray for people, and even sinners. Maybe one of them will like get some conscience, like that dude, the Carter guy said. Maybe you have a little conscience left. Probably not. But for something like this to happen, maybe the girls knew something about certain people. Maybe they stumbled upon something. I don't know. That's what makes someone react like that. Maybe they hadn't killed anybody, but they're like, there's no way. Oh my God, lose their mind. Because if these girls tell about what we've done or no, and see, in their personal lives, maybe that's why the reaction was. Because that's how that shit happened. You know what I mean? Like you'd be fine. I know him. He's sweet. He doesn't do that. Well, when you're going to expose some shit, he'll kill everybody around, or she, or whoever it is. Maybe a he and a she. Maybe it's a couple people. I don't know. Again, pray for these families, man. Can you imagine like doing the interviews and going on every day? You gotta, and they don't know, and there's their kids and the girls, and they're again the mothers, the fathers, the everybody. That's brutal. I feel for them. I want that again. I wish that we could find who these people are, who they can get away with something like this. But they're bringing out people. There's more YouTubers. There's people again behind the scenes that know how to investigate, know how to it's cunning. You got to go through and then interview everybody and process of elimination and all that kind of shit. Look through evidence, know the patterns of crime too. See, they've already done this. Oh, okay, that reminds me of that one. Oh, see, we're right on the path. New eyes on the case, like those other 2 candidates, sheriff candidates. That's what they were talking about. The first and the guy that won. Nope. Nuh-uh. And who voted for him? I guess a lot of people. And maybe they are. Again, this is speculation, man. I'm not, again, some of the stuff that I feel from certain individuals has really nothing to do with this crime. It has to do with other things. So, I mean, but that might be the reason for the crime. That if you expose me, then you expose all these people. And if they do forensics on our phone and our computer and this, that, they'll find out. Maybe. Again, there's a lot of podcast, the RM, and I'm if I get that wrong, I'm sorry. The RM podcast. I don't know. Again, I hadn't looked into the Delphi murders. Even before my first one, I hadn't been really, I wouldn't, because I usually listen to it at night as I'm going to bed. I won't even watch it, just listen to a podcast. So even before then, and then after I did the Delphi, my first one about a month and a half ago, 2 months, it was like out of my system. Okay, whatever, done it. Didn't even watch anything on the Delphi really. And then this update, and then I saw the RN, so it kind of like piqued my interest again. Again, for me, it's hard to concentrate on true crime. I mean, I like to visit, but I'm not I rant and rave about everything on my podcast. I'm not a true crimer. Again, I'm not a true crime podcast. There's people that are really good at what they do. Find them, go down the rabbit hole together. But I just pray for the families. I pray for these girls. I pray for us too, because it's that's small town America. That could basically happen anywhere. And maybe it is happening. Is this a sign of more deeper things? I don't know. Something's not right. I'm probably going to do another update on that. Again, hopefully they're in the creek with metal detectors. That's a good sign. They took out Keegan Klein out of jail for a day or whatever they did. That's good. And I apologize to anybody that I offended. I mean, I'm not trying to, but my gut, my inner feeling, my something isn't right. Man, I don't want to point the finger. I wish I could say what I wanted, but I can't, because for one, I don't want to, because I could be wrong. More than likely, but I'm talking about like again, these secrets that people have probably don't have anything to do with the crime, but they'll cover up a crime to keep these secrets from coming out. I don't know if you can wrap your head around it. And I don't want to spit it, come on. Figure it out. Use your intuition. I hope it's solved, man. I hope that they're doing the right thing. But I'm out of here, y'all. I do this every day. Again, I'm not a true crime podcaster. I'm riffing every day about everything under the sun. But I love y'all. Be blessed. Cheers.